About a year and a half ago, I had the opportunity to lead a bunch of college-age students on the road in order to do a really high-energy job that took a lot of effort. It was just for 2 months. So I had a definite start date, definite end date, and it took a lot of effort. It was a bunch of work, it was long hours, it was exciting, it was fun, but it was a lot of work. And part of my job as the director of that team was to make sure the staff were cared for. And I didn't quite understand the distinction between culture that breeds a better team and culture that breeds entitlement. And so my idea of staff culture was find a way to spoil people. I mean, do everything you can to make sure their job is easier. You can get into the leadership dynamics of that. That's not the point in this video. But about halfway through the summer, there became this underlying current that was no longer underlying. It became a wave in what was a calm sea. And this wave started tossing and turning everything. And this wave was the wave of cynicism or criticism or complaining. Complaining, I think, is the best way to describe it. All of a sudden, these people, when they weren't spoiled, when they weren't given all these perks, when the perks were not available to be given in a certain way, they began to complain. And even I complained because I was comparing it to the previous years where I'd not been a director and I enjoyed everything as much as I could. And it's something that I know my culture of Gen Z and just the generation I grew up with and the places I've been to, complaining is just natural. I mean, it's been seen in the history of human civilization forever. People just like to find something to complain about. There's people who, they don't want to make things better, they just want to complain. And that's the extreme version of it, but there's also great people who just naturally complain because it's just easier to complain. I mean, right now, I could sit around this room, you can't see everything, but I can complain about several things. One, I could complain that this light in my face is a little bit bright, and I could say it needs a little more diffusion. Or I could look at the camera and complain that it's not a high-end, super duper duper high-end camera. Or I could complain that the tripod is a little bit dusty. Or I could look over at my room and complain that the paint is white and it's boring. Or I could complain that I have carpet in my room because it's harder to clean. Or I could complain that the bulbs up here in my lamp or my ceiling fixture, that they are, old and they don't look new. I could complain that the leaves have fallen off the tree in the back and it's not as pretty as it once was. I could complain, you get the point. I could complain about anything in this room. And I could also complain about a bunch of things in life. I could complain that I don't have enough money at my job. I could complain people I work with get on my nerves. I could complain that the church I go to is not fulfilling at certain times. I could complain that I haven't made it as far in life as I wanted to and it's because of blah, blah, blah. You could play the blame game, whatever. The point is, it's easy to complain. And you probably feel that a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of humorous when you point it out and point out really tiny things. But think about your natural bent. It's probably to complain. It's probably to point out when things are wrong. I mean, that's kind of the point of all sarcasm is, oh, that was great, or that was cool. You can go on a plane and you can complain that the seats are too small, that you have to pay too much. You can just complain. And yeah, there is a healthy amount of criticism. Like, people do need the truth and love put together. You can't just be positive, happy all the time. Like, you gotta have some legit criticism for how you're doing in life, or someone to just look you in the eye and tell you need to, get off your phone more, things like that. But the thing is, the more you complain, and maybe you felt this, maybe you haven't, but I noticed the more I complain, the more I look at what I don't have, the less happy I am. And it feels good to complain because you point out something you don't have, and it feels good to vent, to talk about it on social media, or to talk about it to the people you talk with regularly, to talk about it to your friend group. It feels good to complain. And yet, when we complain and we point out the things that we don't like, we just don't enjoy life as much. And so I'm gonna share something that's been really simple. Something that helped that summer when I was a director of that group of people, something that's helped me so much in life recently. And the problem is, it's so simple. And you're gonna look at it and you're gonna go, next video. Find something that's more tangible and more real. And you're gonna, maybe you look at it and go, okay, I'll listen to it, I'll try it, but it just, doesn't work, whatever. But the point is, simple things in life are sometimes the best things. And so I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. I'm gonna tell you exactly what this wall behind me is. You're not gonna get a good look at it because it's fairly personal. But on this wall, there's a bunch of sticky notes. It started out, they were yellow. And on these sticky notes is just something that I'm grateful for. It was, I think, week 6 of doing this job. and I realized something needed to change. And I was staying at a guest house, and on the nightstand was a book, and it just had the word gratitude on it. I forgot who wrote it, can't tell you anything about it. I just scrolled through a few chapters, and in the book there was this idea of doing a gratitude wall. And I was like, huh, we got to do something on this team. The culture's not what it needs to be. And so we started a gratitude wall, and everyone got a sticky note. They wrote down something they're grateful for the day. And of course, people gave the generic, my family, my teammates, this great team we get to work with, the generic stuff. But I just started putting on there and challenging people as best as I could, because that's what this book had said to do. Just put the really small things. Put, my shoe stayed tied all day. Or, yeah, somebody gave me half of their cookie. It was a small moment, but I remember it. Or somebody came up to me and said hi. I just appreciate being seen. Or, for example, things back here, I'll put, even today I had a great conversation with somebody. Or, I just really enjoyed the weather yesterday. Or, I have a reliable car. Because whenever you go through all the day and you don't have anything that's highlightable and you can't remember it, then you just put down the generic, because you always have something to be grateful for. But the point is, throughout this summer of doing that gratitude wall, you just notice a shift. And yeah, the outwardly, people realize that I'm trying to get people to be more positive and more grateful as a director, and they start naturally trying to do that around me. So some of that, I'm not gonna lie, is just naturally people trying to act more grateful. But the more people actually write down what they're grateful for, just the more you enjoy life. And the more I write down what I'm grateful for every day, the more I enjoy life. And the thing is, I can sit in the exact same spot and be complaining or be grateful. I can have a bad day or I can have a great day. And yeah, there's outside factors that are going to influence it. And some days it's really hard to think of what I'm grateful for. But the more you look at those small moments, the more you just enjoy life. And like I said, I'm not going to overcomplicate it. This wall started a year and a half ago. As soon as I got back from that summer and moved into this apartment, I wrote down the first thing I was grateful for. And it was that I met my roommate and he was a chill guy. So I wrote down meeting, his name, going well. And that was the first sticky note. And the second sticky note, I forgot what it was. Third sticky note, just every day, made it a part of my routine in my quiet time. I would just write down something I was grateful for. Typically it was something small, and then by a full year, it filled up quite a bit. I found different colorful sticky notes from my Christmas break. When I got back from Christmas break, I wrote down every one I'd written in my journal and put it up there. But then, from there, it just kept building. This year, since I'm running out of space on there and I don't want to cover them up too much, I got some little micro sticky notes from Target, and they're different colors too, so it makes it a little more colorful. And I'll just write down what I'm grateful for. And I do it every single day. And I can't say it's life-changing, but it does help me appreciate where I'm at. It helps me appreciate this apartment that I get to be in and this season of life, with the people I'm around and the church I'm at and the coworkers I get to work with and the car I get to drive in, and just the blessings that I get to experience. And I could sit here and be cynical. I could find a bunch of reasons to complain, because I'm not where I want to be in life at this point. I don't make the amount of money I would love to make. I don't get to do as many things as I would love to do. But you can either look at what you don't like and just get annoyed about it and get bitter, or you can just enjoy where you're at. And being grateful is a great way to enjoy it.